Okay, let's jump right in. We all have those moments, right? Where you just need someone to listen, maybe some guidance or protection.
Absolutely. That's such a core human thing. Seeking help when you feel maybe opposed or just lost.
And that very feeling is right at the heart of this ancient text we're looking at today, Psalm 5 from the Bible.
hmm Psalm 5, it's a really personal, quite raw prayer, actually, a direct appeal.
So in this deep dive, we want to sort of unpack it. Look at how it's put together, the sharp contrasts it
Yeah,
makes.
especially between the speaker's trust and, well, the way the wicked are described.
And what it tells us about seeking refuge and guidance when things get tough. It feels like a prayer said with real expectation.
It really does. It starts right off with that intensity. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my sighing.
No warming up, just straight into it.
Exactly. Listen to my cry for help, my King and my God. For to you I pray. It's demanding attention in a way.
And then it mentions the timing. In the morning, O Lord, you hear my voice.
Yeah.
That specific detail, the morning. What's the significance there?
Well, it suggests a deliberate rhythm. It's not just a cry when things go wrong, but a regular practice. Starting the day placing requests before God.
Okay, so it's proactive.
Hmm.
And that phrase, and wait in expectation. What does that signal?
I think it's key. It's not just passive hoping, like, oh, maybe something will happen. It implies actively looking for a response, anticipating guidance. There's a confidence built into that waiting.
Right. Then, almost immediately, there's this big shift. He contrasts his own plea with God's very nature, saying God doesn't take pleasure in evil.
Yes, that contrast is crucial. The psalmist is grounding their request in who God is. Seeking refuge isn't just about personal safety.
No.
It's about aligning with God's character, where things like injustice and deceit are fundamentally rejected.
And the description of the wicked is, well, pretty harsh. Liars, bloodthirsty, deceitful. Is this God who abhors them?
It's stark imagery. Not a word from their mouth can be trusted. Their throat is an open grave.
Whoa! That's intense. What's the function of describing the opposition so vividly?
It really validates the psalmist's feelings, you know? It articulates that sense of being up against something truly corrupt and destructive. It makes the need for refuge in God seem all the more urgent and necessary.
Makes sense. But then, amidst all that, the speaker talks about their approach coming to God's house because of great mercy, with reverence. How does that fit?
It's an important pivot back to the self. It shows the basis for their approach isn't self-righteousness, but acknowledging dependence on God's mercy. And that leads right into the core request.
The guidance part.
Exactly. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make straight your way before me.
So the need for a clear, straight path is directly linked to the enemies making things crooked or dangerous.
Precisely. It's asking God to clear the way, provide clarity, specifically because of the confusion and obstacles the opposition creates.
Okay. The prayer also includes that really strong call for judgment on the enemies. Declare them guilty. Let their intrigues be their downfall. That can feel a bit jarring to modern ears, maybe.
It can, yeah. It's what scholars call an imprecation. In that ancient context, justice was often seen as needing divine intervention. It's expressing a deep desire for God's moral order to win out, for wrongdoing to have consequences. It frames their rebellion as against God, not just the psalmist.
Right. But it doesn't end there on judgment. It swings back again.
Yes, thankfully.
Mhm.
It swings to this beautiful contrast, the fate of those who do trust God. But let all who take refuge in you be glad. Let them ever sing for joy.
So refuge leads to joy, protection.
Gladness, singing, rejoicing, all these positive outcomes are directly linked to taking refuge in God and loving his name.
And it closes with that powerful image. For surely, O Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield.
That's the final word, a shield of favor. So the whole psalm really models this dynamic. Facing opposition, grounding your plea in God's character, seeking guidance because of the trouble, and trusting in divine protection and favor.
It definitely leaves you thinking. How could adopting that posture, that morning expectation, seeking a straight path because of challenges, trusting in that refuge, apply when you face your own difficulties or need clarity?
And that final image, God's favor like a shield. What does it really feel like to live as if you're surrounded by that kind of protection? And how does that morning waiting and expectation actually connect to experiencing it? It's quite something to reflect on.